That's the vehicle I've selected for my project vehicle on my YouTube channel for 2020, and that's a 2014 Chevrolet Caprice PPV, RPO code 9C1. For people that know about the Caprices, you know that the 9C1 is the police patrol vehicle version, and the 2014 through 2017, when the production ended, no longer offered the 9C3, the detective version, whereas the 2011 to 2013 did offer the detective version, which is a little bit more common car looking as far as interior, is a little bit more stealthy as far as not standing out as a police vehicle. Whereas a lot of vehicles such as this were sold into police departments, and this particular one was sold to the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Department and in service there for several years until taken out of service last year in 2019. The vehicle has 111,000 miles on it, so it definitely needs some work on various suspension, brakes, maintenance items. There's some upfitter wiring when the police equipment was added to the vehicle when they removed it. Some of that wasn't done very cleanly, and as you can look at some of the pictures coming up in just a little bit here, you can see on the body, whoever removed the decals on the vehicle did a very less than stellar job as far as keeping the paint intact. Unfortunately, there's a lot of scratches in the paint. So I'm going to leave all the paint and body issues primarily to the end of this, given the current situation we're in with COVID-19 and how everything's kind of shut down. I'm not going to worry about the beautification of this particular car right away. I'm just trying to get the safety and maintenance items out of the way first. And being the project vehicle for the channel, I want to make sure that I give you some content that hopefully it's enjoyable to you and is informative. So I'm going to be going through and basically trying to convert this back to a normal daily driver. I'm not going to go into like super high performance, try to tune it, especially here in California. I can't do a lot of things that you guys in the other 49 states can do. But given the fact that I'm only intending it to be a daily driver, I'm just going to get it safe and reliable and go through that process, which is a lot of work on back seat belts, a lot of the upfitter stuff being taken out, making sure that the maintenance on the engine is performed correctly, making sure everything's safe and sound with that. And I lucked out with this particular vehicle. The 6-liter engine in this particular vehicle, the V8 that's in it, has active fuel management lifters, and that's a sore spot or a failure point for this particular vehicle. And a lot of Caprice owners will do a DOD or displacement on demand delete or AFM delete. Here in California, I have to see what my options are. I don't believe I can do that, but we'll have to check that out. But luckily, this particular vehicle did have the lifters replaced according to the Carfax report about 25,000 miles ago, and it actually drives very well and very quiet. So I think I'm good at least for now. But this channel will have content from this particular project, such as when I change out the brakes and suspension components, wheels and tires. I have to go through a lot of things just to make it safe and sound to drive. It drives okay. It's been beat up pretty hard with 111,000 miles on it. So given that, like I said, it's a Holden Statesman-based vehicle with a little bit longer wheelbase, 4 inches longer than the Chevy SS sedan, but they're both Zeta platform vehicles, rear-wheel drive. The SS came with a 415 horsepower LS3, where this is a 355 horsepower L77 engine. So there's some differences. I can actually run ethanol in this, being a flex fuel capable vehicle, although in California I'll be running it with premium 91 octane. Again, that's all I can get here in California. The other thing I need to get through is, of course, with the current health crisis with COVID-19, the California DMV is shut down, and the partners that would handle title transfers are not operating as well. California State Automobile Association is closed. So I'll try to find the way to get my title paperwork in place. I have all the paperwork, just need to get in there and pay my taxes and all that on it to complete that transaction. So with that, let's take a look at some of the stuff I've taken care of so far. It's very basic items, but I want to, again, make it safe and sound to drive. Let's switch over to some pictures I have here. My second monitor. And you can see this is from when I took it over to the park the other day with my drone. I took some still pictures as well. The front hood, and of course the difference between the SS sedan, where the grille was part of the front fascia, it's actually part of the hood with the Caprice. And the inside here, we can see that we have a lot of dirt. It's very dirty on the inside of this particular vehicle, so I'm going to be cleaning that up, of course, just normal cleanliness of the vehicle. The center plate here is where the police equipment would be positioned in the vehicle. And there's actually, I have my hand sanitizer sitting right here in one of the holes that they cut into things. But I'm going to be adding a center console of some sort. So I'm going to be looking at my options for that to make that much like the SS sedan, be it I get a SS sedan center console, then fine. I know there's a couple owners out there that are doing 3D printed parts. That's possibly one of the project paths I'll go down for that particular one, but I'll look at my options later on. And here we are with the scrapes on the paint. You can see down the rear quarter panel there's a lot of scrapes from whoever removed the sheriff's decals on the side. Really wish they wouldn't have done that, but they did. And the back, I'm actually going to be replacing the trunk lid. It's got a crease on the bottom. I was able to work with a local wrecking yard to obtain some parts from a wrecked 2017 Caprice. I went to Specialized Recycling for GM parts. I talked with Moses there and been working with him. He's been great, and his crew's been great working with me, getting some parts available for this. And one of them was a trunk lid, which actually came off the 17, which has the backup camera, and that's one of the projects I'll be pursuing to activate the backup camera in the radio head unit. And there's a person on newcaprice.com that is making wiring harnesses to allow you to run the wires up from the rear to the front for the backup camera. So that's one of the projects I'll be working on as well. And this side doesn't look as bad, but if you get close to the doors were actually white to begin with when it was in service. They were kind of spray painted with a rattle can. Not very nice looking. And of course, I do have the steel wheels on this vehicle. Tires are only a couple years old, but they're not the softest. It seems like they may have been in the sun a lot. So I'll be changing the wheels and tires out going forward. You can see the rear seat where I've actually got the seat belts installed here. I'm going to show you some of the components of that here in just a moment. But and also you can see my drone there on the floor. And the door handles in the back need to be reactivated by reconnecting the cables. So there's a lot of stuff to make it so the passenger in the rear could, being a civilian use based vehicle now, I'm going to try to return it to normal. And of course we have the front, and those seats are pretty tired as well. So I was able to acquire some seats out of that Rec 17 Caprice. I'll be swapping those out. And the seatbelt buckled here on the driver's side. All the wiring was basically torn up, and it just looked horrible. So a lot of the stuff will be cleaned up going forward. And the engine bay here is extremely dirty, but the engine does sound pretty decent, nice and quiet. No tick from the active fuel management lifters. And of course, being in police service, there were lights on the top of this one, and there were a lot of holes. It's going to look a little measle-like like here on the top for a while until I get the bodywork done, until life comes back to normal and the country comes back alive. The body and paint and all that stuff is going to have to wait. Although I'll be working on some body gap issues in the front quarter panels, fenders with the doors. I'll be working on that manually myself. And in the steel wheels. Luckily, all the TPMS sensors are working. The batteries are still good. Those last usually 6 to 7 years. I'm probably right on the edge of that, so we'll address that when we get whatever the new wheels and tires are going to be. And here is a picture of the trunk. Of course, you can tell that, but I've taken all the trim pieces out, and you can see the main battery that's in this vehicle. And there was an aux battery in this particular vehicle as well. And that aux battery is used for powering the police equipment added to the vehicle. I'm not going to be using it in that particular way, so I've actually removed the aux battery, which was dead. It tested bad with my battery tester, so I removed the battery and the aux battery equipment. And there's it removed. And then those connectors I've tied up to the side, although, like I mentioned, the backup camera, there's a person on newcaprice.com that's making those wiring harnesses, and he said he might tap into one of those for power. I sent him some pictures of what I have for connectors there, because apparently I'm not the only one to take out the aux battery equipment. And there's that sitting out there. So if you're looking for an aux battery box for 14, I think this is the same throughout the whole entire model year run of 11 to 17. But I have that sitting in my room right now of spare parts. There's the trunk cleaned up, spare tire well empty, but I do have a full-size spare. luckily, and that seems to be decent shape as well. It's a little bit older, but at least it seems to be holding air and everything's good. And there's the trunk cleaned up a bit, and you can see the bumper fascia's got some bumper fascia on the rear has been tapped a couple of times, and general state is just poor. Now we're on to the back seat, where I had the back seat present, but the lower section had a tear in it, and in the vinyl, leather, whatever, didn't look great on the bottom side of it. Although I did have a seat present, but I didn't have all the seatbelt pieces. So the wrecking yard I mentioned in Rancho Cordova, California, I was able to obtain the various pieces here, the buckles, the um, passenger side buckle. I'm sorry, no, this is for the center. It goes on the center part, which actually clips in for the passenger side, and then there's a driver side, which handles the driver side and the center belt for clipping in. So this actually clips into here. But I got all those pieces, including these foam rubberized insulators, which are not visible, but they're part of the package, and I didn't have those. So let's move. Then you can see right, center, left here on those particular items. And then I'm more at the buckles at the bottom. And there's where the retractor for the center and the insulator has been installed. There's the passenger side with the decorative trim sitting on top of it before I put the deck lid cover in place. And there's the deck lid cover with the center belts strung through the hole that's provided there. It's actually the decorative plastic trim is riveted into that, so you have to feed that in before you put the deck lid cover up. And I had to re-glue the foam insulation since half of this was laying on the floor in the back of the vehicle. And there's the deck lid cover in place, the driver's side with the belt cover over it. More of the belts all in position, and then the seat being installed, fully completed there. So that's the aux battery removal and the rear seatbelt stuff that I've done with the vehicle so far. So going forward, I've got a lot of stuff to do. I was up till about midnight or so last night cleaning up some of the upfitter wiring that was just kind of left cut and hanging around. I'm trying to get the vehicle rekeyed because it does have a fleet key, and I don't want everyone having a fleet key that can get into my vehicle. So I'm going to pursue that particular project as well and get the fobs reprogrammed so they work with it. The donor vehicle, the wrecking yard had the fob work, so I know it's possible. And matter of getting it reprogrammed correctly, my Autel MS906 scanner is supposed to be able to do that, but it doesn't actually present the option. So I have a question into Autel at this particular point, because I should be able to program the fobs according to the list of supported special functions, and it doesn't actually present the function when I get into that part of the tool for that car. That would have been nice, quick, and easy to get that part of it done, to update the body control module with the right fobs and get them in. The Caprice has the ability to have unique keys and also fleet keys, which allows you to have a similar key that will operate all the different vehicles, and it will allow the transponder chip to be identified to be used with the vehicles, so that you don't necessarily have to go from vehicle to vehicle. But I'm trying to revert it back more to this civilian use, where it has two unique fobs and keys that are unique to the vehicle. So that's a project I'm checking out with my local Chevy dealership. I bought my SS sedan from to see if we can get that figured out. The process to go from a uniquely keyed vehicle to a fleet vehicle is well documented, but the process to revert it back apparently is, no one ever has asked about that. At least people that I'm asking have never had that asked of them before. So it might be a learning process on that as well. So that's the project vehicle I have for the channel. I'm going to be performing the maintenance tasks and all that stuff on that particular vehicle, plus my Chevrolet SSR. I have a lot of stuff I'm going to be doing on that. I'm replacing radiator hoses, cooling system related stuff such as thermostat replacement. I have a power steering pump I'm going to replace because I have a noisy one I've had kind of a problem with all along. So there's still SSR content coming up, a lot of content for the new project channel car, the Caprice. If you have a question or comment about the Chevrolet Caprice that I can hopefully answer for you, leave a comment down in the comment section below. Check out the description section of the video for links related to this video or any of my videos. And if you want to check out the products that I'm talking about in the video, make sure you check down in the description section for any affiliate links I have for Amazon. And if you use any of my affiliate links, whether you buy that item or anything else within a 24-hour period on Amazon, I will receive a commission at no extra cost to you. If you're checking out dash cameras, make sure you look for my blackboxmycar.com affiliate link for that as well, where, again, the same thing. If you purchase a dash camera from blackboxmycar.com using my affiliate link or using the discount code Robert5, you'll get a discount of 5% on any purchase over $250 at blackboxmycar.com. And if you like the video, or this goes for all videos, anything on my channel, if you like it, make sure you hit the like button. And if you don't like it, let me know. If you're going to hit the dislike, let me know how I can improve the video so you will come back to the channel and enjoy the content going forward. And hopefully we learn something together about the Caprice, and hopefully at the end of all this, I have a nice daily driver. It won't be my SS sedan, but it's a decent vehicle in its own right. So thanks for coming to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.